We'd like to welcome everybody here tonight to the Carl York Center in Proctorville, Ohio, for tonight's middle school matchup against the Fairland Lady Dragons and the Red Women from Rock Hill. Here with me is my friend Jeff Gorby. I'm Adam Alt, and we'll be your commentators here this evening. So, Coach Gorby, what are your thoughts on the game tonight?
I think it's going to be an exciting ball game. I know out there when they were out at Rock Hill a few weeks ago, it was about a 20-point ball game. Again, it's an exciting brand of basketball that we get to cover here tonight. Not often do we get to cover these middle school games. I know Fairland's got a lot to look forward to in the future with some of these players that are out here tonight. So I'm just excited to see what tonight's got to bring.
Yeah, I agree. Fairland's very good. We all know that. Got some young, good talent coming up through the ranks. But talking to Coach Nelson before the game, he was really happy with them this year. They've split with Chesapeake. They're tied for third in the league with Chesapeake. He really felt like they were coming along. Watching them warm up, they got some long athletic kids that I think can really give us maybe some matchup problems because, honestly, watching our middle school play, that's one of the things we have. We have a lot of long athletic kids. So I know how hard Coach Nelson works up at Rock Hill. I coach against him in track, and he does a really good job. And I'm sure these girls are better now than they were a couple weeks ago when they played them the first time.
But Coach, I agree with you. And that's every team's goal, is to get better each game, to be a better ball club at the end of the season they were at the beginning. I know there was a lot of hopes early, a lot of excitement around this program. It's a program that's being rebuilt out there. Again, they did have a lot of excitement about the talent, the length that they had. They felt like they were going to be able to step up and challenge for a league championship. Kind of a crazy year, you know how it is. You've been off with COVID at the beginning of the season, Fairland was. So it's hard to kind of get your momentum going and keep it going in the right direction when you're losing players here and there for a week or so. So, again, we know that they're going to be a better ball club than they were the other night.
Speaking about a crazy year, tonight's going to be a 7th and 8th grade kind of combined matchup. There's not going to be a 7th grade game, 8th grade game. So a lot of teams this year just didn't have the number of kids. I think a lot of kids are afraid to compete. Their parents are afraid to have them compete. So numbers just aren't what they were. And tonight's going to be 7th and 8th grade combined game.
And I think from the athletic director standpoint, across the state, looking at it, numbers are down across the state. It's just not at Fairland. It's just not at Rock Hill. It's just not in the OVC. A lot of parents were a little bit, scared at the beginning to let their kids out. And as this pandemic has went on and got worse, again, now that we look at those parents and some of them, probably feel like they made the correct decision, and we've supported that. Again, numbers are down a little bit this year. But we look for, hopefully, as we move forward and we get this under control, that we'll get the numbers back and the kids will get back out here playing the game of basketball.
Yeah, I agree. I completely understand why people would be worried, especially if you have somebody in your home that's high risk. Coming out here and doing this just doesn't seem as important as it does for the health of the loved one.
Yeah, and you're correct. A lot of these kids in today's society, they live with grandma, grandpa. Grandpa lives in the house to help, pay the bills, those sort of things. Maybe some of them has a special needs sibling at home, and again, they can't bring that home. And I think we've seen that, you and I both teaching. We see that with a lot of our kids in the classroom. They don't want to bring it home to their grandparents or elderly aunts, uncles, or even their siblings.
All right, so Coach, what do you expect to see out of Fairland tonight? We're much more familiar with the Dragons. I see them just about every day at school, and this will be about the 5th or 6th time I've got to see the middle school team play. What do you expect to see tonight?
The same thing I've seen from the last few nights that I've got to watch them play. They played over here about 3 or 4 times now, and had the opportunity to watch them. They're going to push the ball up and down the floor. I spent 5 years on Coach McClung's staff when he was here with the boys. I know he likes to get up and down the floor, play good defense. You want to see a lot of zone probably out of Fairland tonight with the length that they have. Again, offensively, they're going to push the ball up and down the floor, whether it's secondary breaks or the primary break. You're going to see a lot of buckets off of it. Again, Fairland likes to shoot the three. Bailey Russell, I know she's out there. She likes to shoot the three. She's a good shooter. Addison Cornell, another great shooter. Easton Talifero plays big in the middle. She's going to get those rebounds, and they're also going to be able to work a ball into her because the more threes you shoot, the more you're going to spread that defense out to get those wide open post moves and easy layups.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing that's scary about this combined 7th, 8th grade Fairland team is they've got shooters. You mentioned Bailey. Reese Barnett's is another kid that can really shoot the ball.
Cameron Barnett's coach.
I'm sorry, Cameron.
Reese is going to shoot in the next game.
Reese can shoot really well too, but Cameron is the younger of the two, and they can really space the floor. And then they got long, lengthy, athletic kids that can really finish inside as well too. So you really got to know what you're doing, and you really got to rotate and can't have any defensive breakdowns.
And I tell you, watching this team, a few times I watch them, the length of Addison Godby, if in watching her, you're going to think she goes all the way to the ceiling with those long arms, and she's able to get those easy steals. We're underway here at the Carl York Center. Fairland basketball to begin. As you see, Cameron Barnett's pushing ahead to Godby. Corner three from Taliaferro.
Out of bounds, Rock Hill basketball. We talked about Issa on the inside. Issa's also developing a little bit of a perimeter game. She's working to develop that shot and that left hand, and she's super athletic.
She's very athletic. I was able to coach her dad here at Fairland back in the early 2000s. Brad Taliaferro, great athlete at the time. Big three-point goal there by Rock Hill.
Was that number 10?
It was number 10, yes.
Emma Harper. Fairland back with the basketball. Rock Hill looks like they're in man. Steal there by number 13, taking it to the rim.
Hankins there taking it all the way in. Comes up a little long on the layup. Taliaferro with the rebound, pushes ahead.
2-point basket by Addison Cornell.
Assisted by Bailey Russell. Bailey's court vision coach is unbelievable. She sees the floor well. She's able to play. Again, going back to her dad's played at Chesapeake back in the early to mid-'90s when they had their run. Coach Pearson taught him a lot down there, and I think that's kind of rubbed off a little bit on Bailey also from his tutelage.
Well, I can tell you, being around Bailey during cross, the mentality that she has. Speaking of Bailey, there's 2-point basket. I mean, she is a competitor, not only against others but with herself. But also being around her during open gym, being one of the smallest kids in the gym, she's still one of the first kids picked because she really understands how to play basketball.
She does. She's able to move the basketball. She understands if I'm open, I'm going to shoot it. I can get to the rim. Plays good defense. She's a long kid. Again, you mentioned cross-country-wise, she's got a lot of endurance to help this basketball game also.
So Fairland pretty effective in that 1-2-2. They gave up that 3 early, but they've had 2 straight. They had a rebound and a turnover.
See Barnett's walking the ball up the floor for the Dragons here.
Actually, it looks like Rock Hill actually might be in that 1-2-2 themselves. Godby going to the rim, getting fouled. She'll shoot 2.
Fouls on the 23. Payne of the Redmen. That's going to be her first, team first.
The first one's good. In middle school basketball, really in high school basketball, foul shots could come down to decide the game any night. There's been plenty of games I lost by 5 or 6, and we were, 4 of 13 from the line. So you have a bad shooting night at the line, it can really cost you the game.
You are correct, and I've seen that several times over the years. You miss 1 or 2 free throws somewhere along the line, and that's going to cost you the ball game. I've seen it this year, not only with you guys down at Coal Grove, but also I've seen it with the boys a couple, here in when they played Fort Fry a few weeks ago, right before the Christmas break.
Haley Daney for 2 there. That was a really good pass.
There's a good move by Taliaferro. Comes up a little short.
Godby with the rebound to put back number 5. Daney again with the rebound.
I think it's Dancy, Coach. If I could read my writing, maybe you could too. It's Dancy, D-A-N-C-Y. I'm sorry when I copied that roster.
I thought that was an E.
Yeah, I copied
so
it down
my
there.
Apologies. Up and under, good move, good defense by Bailey Russell. Addison Godby gets on the floor, ties it up with number 33.
Again, that's
kind
of what sets this Fairland team apart from others is right there. You've seen the hustle points. They're getting those points with Godby getting on the floor and just getting after it.
Wide open 3 by number 33. Again, Josie Kidd. That's 2 threes Fairland's given up.
Fairland's got to do a better job of closing out with a hand up in her face. If she's made 2, she's probably going to be the shooter, and she's going to be the one they're going to look to make some threes in this game.
Floater by Bailey Russell short. She gets her own rebound, but it's knocked out of bounds. Ball to the Dragons. Ball to Barnett's in the corner. Talked about her earlier. She's a really good shooter.
Very good. And that's a great pass for Bailey Russell across the paint right there. You don't see a lot of junior high kids that can make that, get a good pass to her to be able to shoot off of.
Good
Bailey
defense.
with a partial block there. Good.
Rock Hill coach makes the appropriate timeout there. As soon as he gained possession, calls the timeout. So right now, we talked about earlier how Fairland kind of really won big last time, but we talked about, Coach Nelson and being able to really improve his kids, and it's starting to show right now. They're only down by 1. They're shooting the ball pretty well. They're getting wide open standstill threes, which, that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want shooting threes off the dribble. You want penetrate and kick, and that's what they're getting.
Yep. Yeah, they're getting, like you said, they're getting a couple wide open threes there by Josie. Credit to her. She stepped up and knocked those big shots down. It's always tough to play a basketball on a snow day. When you get that day, the kids want to lay around kind of all day long, just to relax. They're not up. They're not active. They're playing video games, those sort of things. So it's always hard to get going in the first quarter on those snow days, Coach.
Yeah, I agree with that. We usually have a shoot around or a get together. Another open shot there by number 33. Rebound Bailey Russell. Good defense by
Great
number
defense.
13.
Lola Hankins on the defense there was a great defensive play.
Number 10, Emma Harper, called for the push-off. That'll be
That's her first.
her first.
Team's second. An offensive foul. Brianna Kellogg checking into the game for the Red Men. And then Tegan Leap's going to check into the game for the Dragons. Tegan kind of changes the game when she comes in. She's more physical than the normal players that are out here. She probably gets that from her father. I played football with her dad. Great athlete here. Mother's a principal and former cheerleader and basketball player here at Fairland. Very physical, very physical. I enjoy watching Tegan play.
I tell you, she reminds me a ton, and I say this all the time, of Kelsey Warnock. Kind of an undersized forward that can shoot the ball well and drive it right and left-handed, but just plays bigger than what she is because she is so tough.
Oh, I agree. She's very physical. She's going to get the rebounds. Kind of the dirty garbage player, I think we'd be calling it. She's going to kind of sweep up all the garbage around the rim and get good rebounds there. Bailey Russell with a rebound off the Dragon shot attempt.
Godby with a spin move in the paint.
Nice little floater. Great move by Godby. And get the floater to go there.
Thing is, again, Rock Hill's defense, that was good defense, just a better offensive move.
You're correct, Coach. I mean, that was a great move by her to get the separation, to get the shot off.
Good pass by number 5, blocked by number 23, Issa Talaferro. I'll tell you, I'm really impressed with the Josie kid so far. She's made a couple plays.
Yes. And that was a great read right there. She's opposite block. She sees Talaferro's kind of lost her in the shuffle, just cut underneath of her, and she's wide open. Cornell checking back into the game for the Dragons, replacing Talaferro. It'll be interesting to see if they set something up here to try to get Josie a 3.
They've given that up 3 straight times. She made the first one. She's missed the last 2. Good move by number 13. And Godby with the rebound. She's going to push the basketball. Cornell out in front. Too late. Too late of a pass.
A little too far under.
Yeah, she caught it under the backboard.
Russell. There's Godby with a layup, with the rebound and the putback.
I tell you, a kid that I think it can be scary good is Godby. She's got all the tools. She's got the length. She handles the ball well. She has a point guard mentality. Right. But she is a freak athlete.
She is. She was both on the volleyball team and the soccer teams here in the fall. And as a 7th grader, excelled on an 8th grade, basically an 8th grade soccer team. Very successful volleyball player here. Nothing but upside for her for the next 5 years.
Another just a good out-of-bounds play by Rock Hill. Just couldn't complete the pass. Girl just kind of dropped it. Steal by number 10, Harper. She's going to push in transition. Kind of Euro steps and gets fouled by, I think, number 5. Taking leap. Let's see. Well, nope, that is on number 4, Cameron Barnett. So that's her first. Should be the team first.
Coach, I was going to tell you that was great defense there by Barnett. So I felt like she went straight up with her. I felt like Tegan kind of got her from behind.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought too.
She misses the front end of the 2 shots. I think big in girls basketball. Step into the shooter here, getting a rebound, making sure you don't give up. If it's a miss, don't give up a putback for an easy score there.
Fairland try to push on a sideline break after a make, deflected out of bounds. So we'll have sideline out of bounds here.
And I think we talked about it earlier, Fairland wanting to push the ball, and that's a great example right there. We're pushing it forward, just to come up a little bit, they tipped it out of bounds.
Reese to the corner, or not Reese, Cameron to the corner. Short, Godby with the rebound. Post up by Cornell. Cornell with the left hand.
It's a good little baby hook shot there by Cornell. Drive to the middle.
We talk about a lot of these kids being super athletic, and not that Cornell is not athletic, but you want to talk about a kid who succeeds because of her skill level.
Skill level, yes.
I can't tell you the number of classes she goes to, dribbling classes and shooting classes, and how much time she spends in a gym working on her ball handling stuff and her shooting, and it really pays off. It really shows.
It does, and like you said, not only Cornell, but a lot of them spend a lot of time with extra lessons on the side, and anytime the gym's open, these are kids that when I come in the summertime, I see a basketball coach in the gym. They're always with them. They're doing a lot of shooting, getting a lot of shots up, working on their skill, and that means a lot. We're going to take just a short break here. Again, you are watching the Armstrong Sports Network, and we'll be back here in about 30 seconds.
Here to the Carl York Center in Proctorville, Ohio, home of the Lady Dragons, where after one, the Dragons lead 15-9 over the Red Women of Rock Hill. We had a really good first quarter. Rock Hill just missed some easy shots. They had two wide open threes that they missed. They had another inbounds under the basket play. Girl cuts the basket open. She just can't catch the basketball. So we've had a really good really good quarter here. Rock Hill's missed some opportunities. And ball is now in play. Back to Bailey Russell, the inbounder. She is short. Rebound by number 5.
Felt like we were rushed there just a little bit. Some officials really want to get the game going. They wanted to set the ball down and start counting. And I felt like that rushed that shot opportunity right there.
Again, another really good look by number 10, Harper.
Steal by Cornell. And that was a great play by Cornell. She's on the coming down, picking up onside block, and just able to reach out there and get a hold of it.
Foul is on number 22, Savannah Kidd. That's her first, team third. All right. Fairland inbounds the basketball, going to bring it into the front court. Pass it over to Talaferro. Skip pass. I'd say that's something you don't normally see in middle schools, long skip passes.
And that's one thing about this team. Cornell with the basket, that's one thing about this team. They're very athletic, and they're also very strong girls, and you can tell they've worked a lot on their game to be able to make those passes because 7th grade girls normally cannot make that pass.
Good court vision, pass ahead to Talaferro, and the finish. And Coach Nelson going to take a much-advised timeout there. Fairland kind of starts on the quarter on a 4-0 run. Two turnovers, 2 baskets.
We'd like to remind you to stay tuned here. Immediately following this game, we're going to have about a 25-minute intermission for the varsity teams to warm up. And then Coach Jack Harris and Coach Dave Carroll will be bringing you the varsity matchup between the Fairland Lady Dragons and the Rock Hill Red Women.
I'd say I'm so thankful for Armstrong this year. Doing this, a lot of we have a lot of fans that come to our boys' games, our girls' games, to middle school games, and they're not family members, and they can't be here. And I can't tell you the number of people who just absolutely love these broadcasts. So we're super thankful for Armstrong for doing this, being a part of the community. Thankful for the Huddle Assist program that Mr. Gorby kind of scrounged up some money so our fans could watch all our home games.
I was able to sit down and meet with Doug, with Armstrong, early in the summer and say, hey, look, how can we make this happen? To be able to pull it off for football, and you have you and Buchanan work for the football games for me, and then later Dave and Jack work in the playoffs, and then just coming right on over to girls and boys basketball. It's been a gift to the community that I could have never dreamed happen, and we do appreciate him so much for that.
Good defense by
21.
number 21.
Reisner for the Red Men.
Any Rock Hill fans watching, you'll have to forgive me. I see the Fairland kids every day and know their names. These Rock Hill kids, I have to look down at the piece of paper. So if I pronounce your name wrong or don't know your kid's name, I'm sorry. Another kind of open three there for Kidd. She just misses.
Barnett's for three. Comes up a little short. Again, Rock Hill pushing the ball back. They're not scared to go right at Fairland.
Tell you, that's
Good
one of the
move.
kids. Number 13 there, Hankins. She's one of the kids I watched in warm-ups and was like, man, that's a long, athletic kid.
That was a great little Euro step here to get the layoff up. Russell would come up with the rebound of her own shot attempt.
Russell with the three in the corner.
The assist from Barnett.
I think Coach McClung might have been a little matty. I think he wanted the ball to go down the post to Cornell.
Yeah. Barnett's going to pick up her second foul of the half. Her second, team second. You know, Coach, as we look back at this has been a clean, pretty clean ball game. Usually junior high games, you see a lot of fouls, a lot of jump balls. That's something we haven't seen. Now, hopefully we're not jinxing ourselves here, but that's something we haven't seen a lot of.
First one by Harper is short. Yeah, this is only the fifth and sixth foul shot attempts. And only 5 fouls in the half so far. Fairland with 2, Rock Hill with 3.
Seen Tegan Leap checking in for Barnett's.
Again, we talked about foul shooting being super important. Rock Hill is now 1 for 4 from the foul line.
Godby with the drive, little floater, layup. Again, you talked about early her length, and I'd mentioned it too. Feel like she can reach all the way to the ceiling. Right there is kind of a good example of her length, just reaching out, putting the ball in front of her, and just getting it up over top of people.
Yeah, I talked about it earlier, that long pass to Cornell. She caught under the basket, just saw it too late. It's a great example there when number 23 there catches the ball. She's got to see that kid backside. Abby Payne, she's got to make that recognition just a little bit sooner. That's what middle school basketball is all about, just getting those kids to see the stuff faster.
Right. Issa Taliaferro with a big 3 on assist from Tegan Leap.
Fairland's pressure is really starting to translate into offense now.
Good screen there by 23, Payne. I think if she'd have rolled off that, Coach, she'd have probably been wide open.
It was like a foul maybe by number 5, Tegan Leap.
Tegan Leap.
That's her first, be the team third.
Here we see the Red Women at the line again, shooting 2.
Jalen Reisner. First one is short.
This is the first one.
So now we're going to watch her second attempt here. Let's see if Fairland runs that sideline break again here on a make.
She goes up just a little short. It'll be Fairland basketball out of bounds.
Again, Rock Hill now 1 of 8 from the line. You know, those are points you definitely need. Those are the points that would kind of keep you in the game.
It makes it a 9-point ball game instead of what it is.
Thing is that all those fouls have been on takes to the basket. You know, so like you're getting rewarded because you made a good play, and then it really kind of is hard on you mentally if you don't complete those plays.
Reisner tipped that one away from behind.
Taliaferro ended up with the basketball, is going to go coast to coast, misses, rebound.
See Tegan Leap reach in there, get the jump ball. Should be possession Rock Hill.
That's exactly what you talked about earlier, Tegan. That's what she does.
Yes.
I mean, girl makes a great rebound. Tegan just gets in there, ties the ball up, gets a jump ball.
She's not afraid to stick her head in there, grab a hold of the basketball, just play aggressive. Jordan Spencer checking into the game, replacing Cornell.
getting our photos taken by Mr. Tim Stevens. Had to stop and wait for a second.
Tim's works for the Herald-Dispatch, just a phenomenal writer. To be able to cover the sports and to be around Tim a little bit. I had the opportunity to be around him when I was in high school, and now we love him to death.
Fairland's given up a lot of open shots on OB under. They guarded that one really well. Made an adjustment, maybe at the end of the quarter or in a timeout or something, but didn't give up an open shot. But number 10 takes the ball all the way to the rim. Emma Harper with a really good take.
Now I think if you're Rock Hill's coach, you're preaching we need a stop and a score. Stop and a bucket. We're right back in this ball game. We get a stop and a bucket.
Coach McClung didn't like what he sees. I think maybe too much holding the basketball, not enough moving the basketball. So he's going to talk about it here for a second. So,
30-second timeout.
Again, I know right now Rock Hill's down 14, but that foul shooting and missed easy opportunities is what's got them out of the game. They're not being necessarily outplayed right now.
Right.
They're kind of killing themselves.
Yep. The old analogy, they've kind of shot themselves in the foot. A few trips, you missing free throws, you just kind of errant turnovers, and you make those free throws, you convert off a couple of those turnovers. This is probably a 27-24 ball game right now. Yep. Having coached with Coach McClung and the boys program here, and then he left and went to Chesapeake, and then he came back, and I coached with him another year. Coach Carroll spent several years with the boys middle school program. The knowledge on the bench right now for Fairland is unbelievable. Bailey Russell with a big three.
Most dangerous person on an inbound play is the inbounder.
They always lose the girl out of bounds.
Good take by number 23, rebound. Ball ends up in number 10's hand. Rock Hill still fighting for the basketball. It's going to be Fairland basketball.
And you say that, and I don't know that some of those guys from the 07, 08 era, back when I was coaching, we had a situation out of Rock Hill. We were down 2. We run an out-of-bounds play, about 2 seconds left in the game. Chris Ward, a shooter, takes the ball out of bounds, inbounds it to our freshman coach, Zach Jordan, at the time. Right back to Chris Ward. He knocks down a big three to win a ball game out there. And like you said, the most dangerous person is the person out of bounds. Great hustle
by Jordan Spencer.
Great hustle by Spencer over there. It's going to be Rock Hill ball out of bounds. Unfortunately, it's such a great hustle, and she worked extremely hard, but still going to be Rock Hill ball.
All right, Rock Hill's in his stack again, out of bounds under the basket. They've been pretty successful here. Fairland guarded it really well last time. Let's see what happens here.
Avery Byers checking into the game for the Dragons, replacing Leap.
Oh, she was open. I just saw it too late.
Another great effort by Jordan Spencer right there, just to be able to reach out and get her hand on the basketball to knock it away. Let's see if they can see the slip this time by Reisner.
Kick. She was open, too. Like the backside kid flashing to the ball was open.
Reisner come up, sets a great screen. Backside girl drops down. She's wide open. Let's see if they run the exact same thing here, Coach.
Yep. She wasn't open that time, though.
Kick the ball away to Russell.
Oh. Bailey tries to throw over the top, steps out of bounds, ball comes back and hits her. It's going to be Rock Hill basketball.
See, it looks like you're going to set up maybe the same thing.
Number 33, Josie Kidd's going to check back in the game.
She's a shooter, Coach. Let's not lose her here.
So we're going to the flat look here. This is a new inbounds play. Trying to get a back cut. Oh, inbounder was wide open.
Good drive.
Good block.
Man, give it to number 5 right there to get the rebound. Haley Dancy just kept after it, and was able to draw the foul on Avery Byers. I believe who they called that on. It's going to be her first, team 4th. Here we are, Rock Hill at the line again. Let's see if they can convert these, Coach.
She misses the first one, so they're now 1 of 9. One of 10.
Godby with the long rebound. A push ahead on the initial break here. Kicks
Good
back
kick
out.
back out. Talaferro with the drive, Euro step, rattles out.
Talaferro with her own rebound.
Number 5, Dancy.
Whereas we're under 10 seconds here to play in the half.
She's got to shoot it. She doesn't
She
know
don't
how
have
much
to shoot
time's
it.
left.
She doesn't know the time on the clock. Coach, I think it's one of the most important things from the coaching aspect is telling your players, hey, how much time's left on the clock? What are the game situations coming out of timeouts? Who has fouls to give? Who doesn't have fouls to give? And even looking at your point guard and some of your better players and saying, hey, you got 2 fouls. Be careful on this trip. Don't do anything crazy. Don't reach. I think the game of basketball a lot of time is won and lost in those situations. You and I both being on the bench under Coach Buchanan, you're still there, and I'm spending more time with as the athletic director and don't get to do that anymore. That was kind of probably one of my favorite situations is saying, hey, where are we at? What's the situation? What can we do to win this situation? So those are things that haven't been taught.
I mean, we practice that in practice.
Yes.
We'll get the shot clock out. We'll put something up on the board. We'll give them a situation. We won't tell them what to do. Hey, go over here and talk about it, come out, execute it, and then when they're done, we'll say, well, why did you do what you did? Let's talk about it. So, trying to raise your kids, your players' basketball IQ. So here at halftime, Fairland had a great second quarter there. They scored 15. They made 3 threes, and Rock Hill had only 4 points that quarter. They were 0 of 8 from the line, so they left a lot of points there. Would make this a much closer basketball game. Here's scores at the half for individuals. Addison Godby with 8. Cameron Barnett's with 3. Issa Talaferro with 5. Addison Cornell with 6. Bailey Russell with 8 for the Dragons. For the Red Women, let's see here. Dancy has 2. Emma Harper has 6. Lola Hankins has 2. And Josie Kidd has 3. So, looking at the score here, Red Women down 17, but again, it doesn't feel like they're down 17. They had a stretch there, I think, where the pressure kind of got them. They had a couple turnovers and scores, so they had a bad stretch there for about a minute. Other than that, they've really been competitive in this game. So what do they have to do right now to kind of get back into this game?
I think looking at it from Rock Hill's standpoint, they've got to get a stop. They have, as you're going back in there and you're talking to your kids, we got to talk about defensive stops. We can't allow them to have runouts. We have to make free throws, and we have to play great defense. Those are the 3 things that we've got to do, if I'm in that Rock Hill locker room. And I'm also talking about, hey, we got to find a couple kids. We've got to find Bailey Russell. We got to know where she's at all times. And we have to pressure Addison Godby a little bit, whether we have to do it 84 feet, if we have somebody that can do it, just to slow the tempo down a little bit and slow the game down.
Lots of people think about ball pressure as a means to speed the game up. But if you kind of give a soft press, you can really slow the game kind of down. Just extend your kids up a little bit, so they can't just get the ball and go. They have to kind of maybe zigzag a couple times just to slow the tempo down.
Right. You're 100% correct.
I agree. I think you got to preach these kids. You can't get all 17 points back in a quarter. So it's, you got to get a stop a couple times. So we've got to have a situation where we stop them, we score, and we stop them again, and just chip away at it, and have a goal for the third quarter. Hey, by the third quarter, we want this below 10. We want this to be attainable for us in the fourth quarter.
I agree with you, Coach. And so many coaches and kids will even panic and say, all right, we're down 17. Go out and set goals for your team. All right, in the first, we're playing 6-minute quarters here. In the first 3 minutes, we've got to cut this lead from 17 to 13.
Yeah.
And then the next 3 minutes, we're going to cut this lead from 17 to 9.
Yeah.
Make them obtainable. Don't go out and say we're going to have to make up 17 points in this quarter, which means you're going to almost have to hold Fairland scoreless, which may not be something you can do. But give them goals. I think that if they continue to play with the aggressiveness that they're playing with and convert and play good defense, those goals are easily obtained. But they have to continue to do what they're doing and not get down on themselves.
All right, well, we would like to thank you for joining us here at Armstrong Sports. We'll take a little short 6-minute break here at the Carl York Center in Proctorville. Thank you for watching. All right, welcome back to the Carl York Center here in Proctorville, Ohio, home of the Dragons. Here in our middle school contest against the Fairland Lady Dragons and the Red Women of Rock Hill. Our score is 30-13. Got about 45 more seconds here to the start of the second half. I always like to watch the adjustments that coaches make. I just got done talking to Coach McClung. He was not happy with their performance. Felt like they weren't rebounding the basketball very well, they were getting out-physicaled. And I would agree with that. I feel like Rock Hill was the more physical team. They were crashing the boards, kind of getting after the basketball a little bit more, had a little bit more hustle in their step. Just anxious to see the adjustments that both coaching staffs make here.
I definitely agree with you. And I agreed with Coach when we were down there talking about letting them push them underneath, out of bounds, letting them push them underneath the basket. A couple times down here we've seen those long breakout. We threw it ahead. We've just got pushed underneath. Let's see what kind of adjustments. We didn't get an opportunity to go down and talk to Rock Hill's coaches. Let's see what kind of adjustments they're going to make.
All right, so 12 minutes left in the game here. Again, 30-13 in favor of the Dragons. As the horn goes off, we'll start the second half here shortly. Should be, I believe, Fairland basketball coming out.
Think it's who?
I think it's Fairland basketball.
Looks like white ball coming out.
Yep.
Now let's see how this shakes out since Fairland all went to the other end of the floor. Now we've kind of got to figure it out. We're shooting down here this time. Barnett's back in the game coming out at halftime. She was in a little bit of foul trouble there in the first half.
Foul trouble.
Hey, way to shake off early foul trouble right there. Step up, knock it down the big three.
Hangs the net.
Hangs the net. That's a sign of a great, smooth shooter right there, right? We getting the neck stuck on a big three-point shot.
Oh, yeah. I remember when we would, in the summer, we would go places, Emily Chapman and Coach Buchanan would try to hang the net on a shot and then shoot it and hang it again 2 consecutive times, keep the net hung. And Emily was actually really good at it. Probably no surprise.
No surprise. I know down at Chesapeake Air a few years ago, she was really good at it. Well, she made 10 threes tonight. That was the only thing she made was 10 threes, 30 points.
30 points.
I mean, that's not too shabby, Coach.
Oh, don't know if I agree with that call. That's a pretty good take. Was on
33. Juicy Kid, that's her first. Team first of the half.
I'll be honest with you, I think that was a no call. I don't really feel like she pushed off. I didn't feel like we had great position. I feel like that should have been a no call.
I agree with you, Coach. I think that just look the other way and let's keep playing.
Good inside out. Drive by Bailey.
Great step through right there. Pull-up jumper by Bailey Russell.
I'll tell you, that's something that's really exited the game, a pull-up off the dribble. I mean, at all levels. You don't even see that really a whole lot in the NBA. Everything is catch and shoot or drive to the rim.
I mean, even in the NBA right tonight, how many mid-range jumpers are we going to see tonight in that varsity game? If we see 2, it's going to be what is it, the pink elephant or the blue moon or a phenomenon, right? We see 2 of them tonight.
Yep. All right. Really good defense. It appears that Fairland might have went man there for possession. OB under. Let's see what we're in here. Good help by Talifero.
Right. I believe Fairland has matched
good
up.
Pass.
Good move. And bucket by Abigail Payne for the Red Men. I think Rock Hill, they need to pick up their energy a little bit here defensively, talk a little bit more. And I think they could make a good little run here. But
good
they got to pick up their
cut
energy.
by Barnett. Gets Talifero open for a 3. Number 5.
Rebound by
Dancy. Ends up with the rebound. Passes it over to number 10, Harper. Harper's going to get him in the offense to the high post. Number 23, a good rip through. Good block by number 24, Addison Cornell. Ball to Godby. She's going to skip it to Barnett's. Barnett's with the pump fake. Gets in the lane.
Cornell gets the rebound, steps out of bounds with it.
Fairland's been much more aggressive on the boards.
I agree with you.
Going to send in here number 22, Jordan Spencer, and number 5, taking leap for Cornell and Talifero.
Let's see if McClung's trying to change the pace of the game here a little bit by putting these 2 in. See if they can speed it up a little bit, be a little more physical.
Yeah, they're definitely the more physical forwards. Again, Rock Hill breaks the press, gets to the rim, just misses, gets the rebound and fouled. Fouls on number 5, taking leap. That should be her second.
That's her second, team first of the quarter. Again, Rock Hill back here at the free throw line. Let's see if they can capitalize this half on these free throws.
Short on the first one. So Dancy to the line to attempt number 2 here. Again, let's see on a make here, Fairland tries to get that sideline break. Makes the second. So 2 of 12.
Run that break.
They're on the break. Barnett's at the top of the key, drives, good kick to
find Russell.
Russell. Rebound.
And everything but down there through the net.
It's good offense. Drive, draw 2, kick for open 3. Good take by number 10 to the lane, just misses.
And it was a great job by Barnett's right here defensively. Straight up with the girl, not reaching, not trying to foul.
Good take by Russell. I can tell you that floater is normally deadly with her. She's off on it today.
She's off just a little bit. Yes, she is. Barnett's kind of step back 3. Maya got fouled after she returned to the floor.
That's not a shot you want. You don't want a crossover step back 3. That's just not a good shot. Number 10 takes a 3. Number 13 with the rebound miss. Jump ball. Possession Rock Hill.
Rock Hill ball.
OB under. So we're going back with Cornell and Talaferro.
Let's see if we see that stack look or the flat across the baseline here.
Well, they scored on the last possession, flat across the baseline. They got a drive and a dump off to number 23. That's real bad defense by Barnett's right there. But luckily, her teammate Cornell bailed her out. Good take.
Going to be a block. It's going to be on number 10, Emma Harper, her second, team second. I think Mr. McClung here has went with a kind of a bigger lineup, taking the 2 kind of quick shooters out of the game. See if this creates some matchup problems for Rock Hill.
So Cornell to line to shoot 2, her first, up and good. Number 21, Reisner into the game. Another long, athletic kid Rock Hill has. Cornell's second one, up and good. Fairland's going to apply a little bit of pressure. Ball back into number 10. Harper's going to bring the ball up the floor, get them in their offense, passes it to number 13, Hankins. Hankins beats her man off the dribble. Ball ends up in the hands of Kidd. Rebound by number 23, Payne.
Talaferro stepping out there, getting a block shot.
That's on Barnett.
Barnett's
that's her third.
Team second and a half.
Going to get her out. You talk about having a big lineup. I don't think Coach McClung can have much bigger of a lineup than what he has right now.
No, I don't think he can.
He's got basically two forwards, 2 centers, and a guard, a really long guard.
It's going to be on Tegan Leap. It's going to be her third foul. Team third.
To line to shoot 2, number 13, Hankins. Her first is up and good.
That's I think the first free throw they made in the last 11 attempts.
No, they were 1 of 2 their last in this quarter. Dancy made her second. Okay. She missed her first.
Bailey Russell checking back in the game for Bleep and picked up her third foul.
Misses the second. Good rebound by Cornell. Ball out to Russell.
Rock Hill finally took that sideline breakaway from him that trip there, coach.
Number 13, Hankins, picks her pocket and takes it all the way to the rim. Lola Hankins.
Good look ahead by Godby.
Kidd with the rebound is going to pass it ahead.
And I know we've said it before, Coach. Godby's court vision is
very good. Kidd with the take, blocked by Talaferro. Talaferro push ahead to Godby. Godby over to Cornell.
Cornell.
Off the front of the rim, number 13, Hankins with the rebound. She's going to bring it up the court herself. Get into the offense. Appears that Fairland's sticking with that man-to-man they started the half with. Going to set a ball screen here for Hankins. She passes it off.
Talfaro steps in, gets the steal. Cornell on the floor after the ball.
Harper all the way to the rim. Can't get it to fall. Rebound by number 13, Godby. Picks her dribble up, passes ahead to Talfaro. Talfaro to Cornell. Good defense by number 10. Kick out to Russell. Extra pass. Off,
short. Spencer with the rebound, steps out.
A lot of good ball movement there by Fairland. Just couldn't quite finish.
I think this is something we probably haven't seen very often from Fairland. What is it, about 5 straight trips? They've had wide open layups and just haven't been able to convert.
Into the game, number 10, Audrey Stevenson.
I think she's checking in for the first time tonight, Coach. I believe so. We're under a minute here left in the third quarter.
Number 10, Harper bringing the ball into the front court. Stevenson on her. She switches off. Russell with the deflection out of bounds. Will remain Red Women basketball. Subbing into the game for the Red Women, I believe, if I can read Mr. Gorby's writing, Kellogg.
Kellogg, yes.
Sideline out of bounds. Gets it in to number 33, Kidd. Harper with the basketball. Going to drive. Good defense, but a good spin move. Still gets deflected. Ends back up in her hands. And Harper with the basket.
Let's see if the Dragons hold for one shot here. They
deflected there by Kidd. Back out to Godby. Godby picks her dribble up. Skip pass over to Russell. Russell through the hands of Talifero. Out of bounds. Red Women basketball.
Through the fastball through their coach. Maybe she throws a change up. We retain that possession.
Coach Nelson calling into play, telling them they got plenty of time. Harper brings the ball into the front court, guarded by Russell. Russell steps off, gets a little space, not enough time to get the shot off. Steal by Talifero with 5 seconds left. Passes ahead to Godby, and Godby misses. All right, so here after 3, Fairland actually extends their lead to, let's see here, 16 from 13. So Fairland in that quarter had 6. I don't think that's right. They had 7.
7 in
I
that
missed
quarter.
one somewhere. Cornell made both of her foul shots. So they had 7 that quarter.
7.
Whereas Rock Hill, 2, 4, 6. Rock Hill had 8.
So actually, Rock Hill did cut into that lead by 1.
They did. 2.
From 17 to 16.
6,
Again, probably not where we wanted to be going into this, down 16. You know, Rock Hill's still got to say, hey, we need to continue our pressure, continue doing what we're doing.
Yeah, that's right. We were up 17 at the half. We were up 13 at the half.
We were up 17
we were up 17 at the half. So they won the quarter.
Continuing doing what we're doing, good pressure, and I think that's caused Fairland to kind of rush some shots, a little bit of contact here and there on some layups, not really affecting the game, but it's still affecting the shot just a little bit.
You know, if Rock Hill plays them close this quarter and Fairland ends up winning by this 16, 17-point margin, you know, that's just a lesson for kids everywhere that, you know, you got to play all 4 quarters. You know, you might win 3 of the quarters and lose 1 big, and you're still going to lose the basketball game. So, got to play all 4 quarters.
It looks like Stevenson, Russell, Cornell, Talifero, and Godby still in for the Dragons to start this quarter. No, I'm sorry, Barnett's replaced Stevenson. We're seeing Stevenson come out of the timeout.
Good back cut by Godby. Russell just saw it too late. Good float to the corner by Barnett. Didn't see it either, but Godby makes the tough shot there.
A little hesitation dribble over here. Spin and made the layup.
Harper brings the ball into the front court, guarded by Godby. Looks like Fairland went back to that zone.
Push ahead
to Russell. That was a great pass by Talifero. 2 points for Bailey Russell. Extends the lead back to 20. I think that's Fairland's biggest lead. And Kidd hits a big 3 to cut it back to 17. she's I mean, I know she's missed a couple open ones, but she's obviously a kid that Coach Nelson's like, hey, if you're open, shoot the basketball. You're a good shooter.
She's definitely got the green light, Coach. You know, she's looking to shoot. You know, she's not second guessing herself.
OB under here for Fairland. We'll see if we get the slip right here. Yep, we had it. Just didn't.
There it is.
Didn't get her the ball. Issa misses. Ball
Big
gets tipped out to Russell. Ball to Talaferro. Travel. Picks up that pivot foot before she can get the ball down. So Rock Hill back to a 17-point lead where we were at the start of the half with 4:47 left to go.
Now, Coach, I think it's where you got to see a little sense of urgency out of Rock Hill to kind of push things here. Maybe try to pick Fairland up full court because, you know, now the clock's just ticking away on you.
Yeah, they can't pass up open shots.
Right. Another block by Talaferro.
Good pass ahead. Talaferro with the left hand finishes. Harper again brings the ball up in the front court. Not a whole lot of movement right now on the Rock Hill offense, kind of standing a little bit. There's a flash by number 5. She gets in the ball. Kick, a wide open 3 for Kidd.
Blocked by Russell.
Took a little bit too long. Like she wanted to try to make sure she made that shot. And took a little bit too long.
Full timeout, Rock Hill.
So I think Coach Nelson's going to kind of maybe talk about what we've just been talking about. You know, you talked about picking them up full court, taking some chances. You know, not passing up any open shots, making sure that, like, we're getting back on defense. We got to try and chip away at this lead here.
Right. And I think right there, Coach, he kind of had to take that timeout. We seen a common mistake that we see a lot of kids making. Dancy has a ball in the corner down there. She picks up her dribble right as another Rock Hill player comes over to set the screen. So now we brought 2 defenders to the corner to create a trap. We got to kind of take that timeout to get us out of trouble. So now it's time to make some adjustments. Hey, we've got to pick them up full court here. We got to pressure. We got to play good defense. And we got to have a little sense of urgency on offense also by pushing the basketball up the floor. If you're Fairland right here, what do you think? What's Coach McClung telling them? I know this is your expertise, Coach. You stay in the
I think
huddle.
Coach McClung is telling them to keep speeding the game up and push the ball down the floor. But if we don't have anything, let's set up, run some offense, run some clock, and get a good shot inside the paint. You know, up 19, you don't have to be making shots. You just got to make your easy ones.
Right.
Again, bad defense there by Barnett's, giving up 2 points to is that number 13, I believe?
Yeah. Yes.
Hankins. There's Coach McClung yelling patience. Good hesitation move by Spencer.
Basket by Spencer. She going to go to the free throw line and shoot 1.
Really good move by Jordan Spencer. Just pump fake, show the ball, get the kid off their feet. Left-hand drive, finishes at the rim.
Yep. Fouls on number 23, Payne. That's her second, team third of the half.
Spencer converts. So, again, kind of a tale of 2 things here. Fairland is 5 of 5 from the line right now. And Rock Hill, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 3 of 14.
Blocked by Addison Godby. Barnett pushes ahead to Leap, and Leap finishes.
Good finishes by Leap.
It's a good left-hand finish right there by taking Leap, Coach, to score those buckets.
Extends the lead to 22. 13 steps in. Barnett's tips it backside to number 23 with the bucket. Number 23, Payne. Barnett's into the lane, kind of tipped. Gets it over to Leap to Godby. Godby kicks it out to Spencer with that hesitation again. Ball ends up in Leap's hand.
Good drive. Leap's shot is blocked by Payne.
Good push ahead by number 33, Kidd. Good move. Real good move. Number 10, Harper. Timeout there.
I think it's going to be end up being a full timeout. I don't think Rock Hill has a 30-second.
Well, the last one was a full.
They called 2. I thought they called 2 30s in the first, but maybe I'm Looks like I'm wrong on that.
Well, looks like this official's not willing, doesn't really care that they're going to cut it 30 seconds short. So.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
First horn. So Fairland has extended it. Well, no, it leads back down to 18. 2 straight buckets there by Rock Hill.
Looks like Fairland has kind of emptied their bench here.
So we
Morgan Butcher checking into the game.
Avery Byers, Sierra Pemberton,
and Audrey Stevenson checking into the game. And Bailey Russell stays in.
All right, so Stevenson's going to inbound to ball to Russell. 2:35 left here in the fourth. Fairland with an 18-point lead. Ball over to Stevenson. Byers, turnover. So number 10 is going to bring the ball in the front court, Harper.
Coach, I believe it looks like Rock Hill's brought some other kids in. I see Madison Cremeen's in the ball game now. Emily Lewis in the ball game. Blair Nip.
Is that Todd's daughter by chance?
I seen Coach Nip come in here a few minutes ago. Quite possibly his daughter.
And number 11, Shelby Wingett.
So I would assume that's Todd, Coach Nip's daughter, because like I said, I did see him come in, spoke to him before the game.
Fouls on Bailey Russell. That'll be her first.
Team fourth, I believe.
To the line to shoot 2, number 10, Harper. Harper's had a really good game.
She has.
Makes the first.
Coach, we're gonna kind of turn this over to you here. I'm gonna put the pressure on you. If you had a player of the game here, we got 2 minutes left in this game. If you had a player of the game to pick for both schools, don't want to put a lot of pressure on you, but you can't tell me all of them. But
well, I'll be honest with you. I think Rock Hill, it's obvious. It's number 10, Harper. She's their primary ball handler. She's leading them in scoring. She's the one that kind of gets the offense going. She's played defense pretty well. She's kept the ball in front of her. I think she was real solid, really good player. For Fairland,
I agree with you there on that one.
It's a little bit tougher. I mean, you could always go with leading scorer, which would probably be Godby right now with looks like 10. Nope, Russell actually I think has 12. Both of them have played really good. I think Talaferro's had a good game.
Coach, I agree with you. It's hard to separate that trio there. So, you know, we're not giving anything official out, so we can just give it to all 3 of them.
Yeah.
They've all played well in spurts. And even Cornell. Cornell goes to the line. She makes her free throws. She's blocked a few shots. Offensively, she shoots the ball well. I think it's really hard to pick just one kid from Fairland tonight because they all stand out to us.
They all play really well. Stevenson is going to the line to shoot 2. I'm going to have to give the nod, I think, to Godby. Like I said, with Harper, Godby has the ball in her hand most of the time, taking care of the basketball. She's a really good defender. She had a bunch of deflections, a bunch of steals, and probably leads the team in assists. So I'm going to give the nod to Godby.
Okay. I think you couldn't go wrong, Coach, with any choice there you made. And, again, I can't say enough about – you were talking about Emma Harper for Rock Hill. She's been kind of the heart and soul tonight. She's been all over the place. She's handled the ball against this pressure, whether it's man-to-man or it's zone. She's played really well, leading scorer. Again, I'd have to agree with that pick also.
Well, you know, we talked about how well the kid girl can shoot the basketball. A lot of her threes were off penetrating kicks, inbound plays, and most time the kid inbounding the ball tonight was Harper.
Right.
So
right there, Harper with 3-point attempt comes up a little bit short.
Watching her play, I would have to say that appears to be the hole in her game. Like if you're the high school coach, you're telling them, you know, telling her, hey, you need to take so many shots a day. That's the first time I've seen her shoot the 3, and she did it reluctantly. I feel like that might be the hole in her game.
Right. I think you're right on that. She has a lot of upside everywhere else. Again, you know, and at this point in time, maybe she, you know, needs 100 shots a day.
Good pass by Byers. Stevenson's got a. When she hits the 3, Stevenson's got to cut there and get that layup.
So we're under a minute here. We got a timeout, Rock Hill, full timeout.
I think he's just wanting to sub.
I think so. He's going to put
Number 22,
22.
Savannah Kidd.
In the game. Going to bring, looks like Emma Harper out. Looks like it's probably going to be it for her tonight.
She's going to finish the game with 2, 4, 6, 8, 12 points.
12.
So she's going to have a third of Rock Hill's points this evening.
Again, fans, we'd like to remind you, stay tuned here immediately following this game. We're going to take about a 25-minute break to get things reset, get our benches reset and wiped down and cleaned down for COVID protocol, get our warm-ups, and then we're going to turn this show over to Coach Jack Harris and Coach Dave Carroll for the varsity game, as they're going to bring another exciting brand of basketball to you tonight. If you haven't heard these two guys call a game for us this year, you're in for a special treat. Always on cue, work very well together. We're excited to have them again. We're excited that Armstrong gives us the ability to do this year. With all the new protocols, a lot of people aren't able to get to ball games with the DeWine putting it limited to families only. So, these guys have done a great job, and I can't say enough about Coach Carroll and Coach Harris for helping us out this year.
Yeah, they do a great job. 3-point basket, or
44.
2-point basket by number 44.
Sierra Pemberton.
Reminiscent of Dirk Nowinski there, a little fader.
Little fade away.
It's going to be a foul on number 22, Savannah Kidd. I think that's going to be her second, team 5th. Pass straight into Byers. Good pass. Byers just loses the ball out of bounds. .26 seconds left here in the fourth. Ball's going to go into Kidd. She's going to bring it into the front court. Going to be guarded by Russell. She's going to kick it over to number 12. Back to number 44.
She gets another shot off.
Rebound by Stevenson. She's going to push the ball ahead to Bailey Russell. She's going to bring it in the front court. And I think Bailey's just going to
try to dribble the basketball
dribble the ball out here. So, end of the game here. Fairland's going to end up winning by 18. So, again, they only had the 1-point advantage there. So, Rock Hill had the 1-point advantage last quarter, or a 2-point advantage, I guess. Fairland really only dominated them that second quarter, that 15-4 quarter, and that pretty much was the difference in the game. Other than that, Rock Hill really competed and battled with.
You're correct, Coach. One bad quarter a lot of times can do you in, and we've seen that here again tonight. The other 3 quarters, Rock Hill battled with them the entire night, played well, handled Fairland's pressure. It was a great ball game for us. Again, we can't say enough about Fairland. They're up 1 game in the conference race, very few games left going into the tournament. So the job that those coaches, Coach McClung and Coach Carroll, have done this year is phenomenal. Again, we like to make sure that you stay tuned. We're going to turn it over to, they call themselves the B team, but I think they've kind of earned the A team reputation now. They're my guys that have called games for me, and they do a great job, and Dave Carroll and Coach Harris, as we turn it over to the varsity game here in about 25 minutes. I'm going to let Coach Alt wrap things up here for us. And
so
we'll
just wanted to give some stats here. First for the visiting Red Women of Rock Hill. Again, number 5, Daincy, finishes the game with 3. Emma Harper finishes the game with 12. Lola Hankins finishes the game with 7. See here, Abby Payne, 4. And Josie Kidd with 6. For the Lady Dragons, Barnett's with 6, Taking Leap with 2, Stevenson with 4, Addison Godby with 10, Jordan Spencer with 3, Issa Talaferro with 7, Addison Cornell with 8, Bailey Russell with 12, and Sierra Pemberton. Nope, I'm sorry. That was Rock Hill. That's number 44, Rock Hill. I'm sorry. So 44 for Rock Hill. Madison Cremines finishes the game with 2 as well. So, again, we would like to thank you for joining us here at Armstrong Sports. As Mr. Gorby said, please join us again in 25 minutes here as the Rock Hill Redmond high school team warm up and the Fairland Lady Dragons warm up for our competition here this evening. So thank you for joining us for our broadcast, and hopefully you'll stay tuned.